In nearly every meeting between Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump, one issue keeps returning to the top of the agenda: the long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles. For President Zelensky, the request is simple yet urgent. He's been calling, again and again, for stronger US military support, the kind of support that could help Ukraine strike back, hard, against Russia's advancing forces. Ukraine has already begun using its own long-range weapon, the Flamingo cruise missile. But Kyiv's military planners say that if they want to truly turn the tide, they need something more powerful, something that could change the course of the war itself. Could the Tomahawk missile be that game changer? And if so, why hasn't Washington sent them yet? Today, we explore the story behind America's most powerful missile and why it could redefine the future of this conflict. Stay with us. This is USMag. For more than 4 decades, one missile has quietly shaped the balance of modern warfare: the Tomahawk, a weapon known for its astonishing range and its deadly precision. Since 1983, it has remained one of America's most trusted tools of power, used time and again in conflicts across the world. But before it became a symbol of military technology, the word tomahawk had a very different meaning. It was the name of a small axe, a hand-thrown weapon once used by Native American tribes. Simple, but effective. It could be launched from a distance and hit its mark with accuracy. In many indigenous languages, tomahawk meant the cutting tool. Today, that name lives on, in a missile that carries the same idea of precision, power, and reach. The Tomahawk cruise missile is a long-range weapon guided by GPS, capable of flying hundreds of miles to strike a single, carefully chosen target. It can be launched from naval ships or submarines, giving the U.S. military a global reach that few others can match. The American defense company Raytheon says the U.S. and its allies have used Tomahawks nearly 2,000 times in different wars and operations. Over the years, the missile has evolved, and its latest version, the Tomahawk Block 4, has transformed how modern warfare works. This advanced model includes a 2-way satellite communication system, allowing commanders to change the missile's target mid-flight. It's a weapon that can think, adapt, and move with precision, even as the battlefield changes below. The Tomahawk's navigation is powered by terrain contour matching software, a system that compares real landscapes with its preloaded digital maps, helping it stay on course, even when GPS signals are jammed. That technology allows it to fly low, skimming just meters above the ground, making it nearly invisible to enemy radar. Its turbofan engine, similar to those found in commercial aircraft, gives it both endurance and speed. And because it releases very little heat, it's almost impossible to track using infrared sensors. It's a weapon that can travel far, strike precisely, and disappear before it's even detected. According to U.S. defense data, each Tomahawk missile costs about $1.5 million, a reflection of the technology packed inside every launch. At over 21 feet long and weighing roughly 1.5 tons, this missile carries a warhead ranging from 450 to 1,360 kilograms. Once launched, its wings unfold, its engine roars to life, and it begins its journey across land and sea. As it nears its target, the Tomahawk lowers its altitude, flying just 100 feet above the ground or even less, until it strikes with near-perfect accuracy. In simple terms, the Tomahawk cruise missile is not just a weapon. It's a statement of engineering, a blend of range, intelligence, and precision that has redefined what modern warfare looks like. Why does the Tomahawk cruise missile stand apart? Among the world's most advanced weapons, the Tomahawk holds a unique place, not just because of its design, but because of how it moves, how it hides, and how it strikes. Unlike traditional bombs dropped from aircraft, which often miss their precise mark, the Tomahawk is built for accuracy. And while ballistic missiles like the old Scud types can fly fast and far, they require massive visible launch sites, impossible to conceal. The Tomahawk, however, is different. It's compact. It flies low, almost hugging the surface of the Earth, slipping beneath radar systems that are designed to spot threats high above. That low-altitude flight path makes it incredibly hard to detect, and even harder to intercept. So, how did this weapon come to life? Its origins trace back to the 1940s, when engineers first dreamed of a guided long-range missile that could travel close to the ground. But as new priorities emerged, particularly the Polaris ballistic missile, the Tomahawk project was put aside. Decades later, in the 1970s, advances in guidance systems and propulsion reignited the idea. By 1983, the defense firm McDonnell Douglas completed the weapon that would change modern warfare, the Tomahawk cruise missile. In its early years, 3 versions were created: a sea attack model, armed with a conventional warhead designed to strike ships with deadly precision, and 2 land attack versions, one carrying a standard explosive and another built to deliver a nuclear payload. Today, it's the conventional land attack Tomahawk that remains active, the weapon of choice for precision strikes from the sea. Since its first deployment in 1983, experts estimate that nearly 2,000 Tomahawk missiles have been launched in conflicts and operations across the globe, each one a symbol of engineering precision, stealth, and strategic power. The Tomahawk isn't just a missile, it's a message of how technology, strategy, and design can reshape the battlefield. Why the Tomahawk? Since the Russian invasion began in 2022, Ukraine has made one request more than any other: long-range strike weapons. Their goal? To hit critical Russian command centers, ammunition depots, and infrastructure, far from the front lines. But Moscow has warned Washington again and again, don't cross that line. Supplying such weapons, it says, would ignite a dangerous escalation and drag the world's 2 largest nuclear powers closer to confrontation. Still, the Tomahawk stands apart. Some versions can travel nearly 2,500 kilometers, enough to put Moscow itself within range, if launched from Ukrainian territory. And unlike ballistic missiles that arc high into the sky, Tomahawks fly low, hugging the Earth at just tens of meters above ground. That low-altitude flight makes them nearly invisible to radar and incredibly hard to intercept. What makes them even more formidable is precision. Guided by an advanced navigation system, Tomahawks can strike with surgical accuracy, hitting a single building, a single bunker, even a single window, while minimizing civilian casualties. But sending these missiles to Ukraine isn't as simple as handing them over. There's a catch, and it's a big one. Tomahawks were originally built for the U.S. Navy. They're designed to launch from warships and submarines, platforms that Ukraine simply doesn't have. Without those launch systems, Kyiv wouldn't be able to use the missiles, no matter how many it received. The U.S. has begun developing new ground-based launchers that could fire Tomahawks from land. But even if Washington approves them for export, Ukrainian troops would still face months, perhaps years, of training before they could use them effectively in combat. Even then, technology alone wouldn't be enough. Accurate U.S. intelligence would be essential for the effective use of such long-range precision weapons. Analysts warn that if Ukraine does receive Tomahawks, American specialists would likely be deeply involved, from readying each missile to mapping the precise flight paths they would follow. And while the U.S. military still holds thousands of Tomahawks in its arsenal, the war in Ukraine has underscored a critical reality. Confronting a powerful army requires not just advanced weapons, but a vast supply of them. So for now, the Tomahawk remains both a symbol and a question, a weapon of precision and power that could, in theory, change the course of the war, yet one held back by logistics, diplomacy, and risk. Until those obstacles are overcome, the Tomahawk will stay what it has always been, a promise waiting just beyond reach. If you found this exploration insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to USMag. Join the conversation. Tell us in the comments what topic you want us to uncover next.